Hello, everyone. Episode 2 of the Anonymous Podcast. We're just going to dive right in.
Well, wait, you got to say the date today.
What is the date? October
14th? 2021.
2021. All right. My woman just got off work. She doesn't know I'm going to say this. And I'm looking at her, and she's like a fucking supercomputer, dude. Like, you don't understand the programs that are sitting there on the screen. And the program that's on the screen has 1,000 buttons. And then when you click on each button, there's 75 options. And fucking, like, she is just like, click, zoop, right through everything, bing, to the next thing, next screen pops up, she's scrolling through it, boop, she's got your answer right then. It's like, I'm like, Jesus Christ, dude. She's like a fucking supercomputer. No wonder why people like she actually makes, at the company she works at right now, she actually makes 75% of what she's worth in my eyes. Like, and that's like, most companies will pay at 25% of what. But I'm just watching her standing over her shoulder and doing these things, and it's like, oh my God, thank God I ain't got to do that. My job's a lot easier. But her job, dude, I'm just like, I walked away and I'm like, God, she's like a supercomputer. It's like, you are. You like, just like when people ask you a question, and then like, you know, like right where to go, click, and then click, and they're zooming through, and like, and you're like, I walked out 10 minutes later, I walk back in, and I hear her on the phone go, and it's like, 5:15. She goes, oh, this is gonna close tomorrow. Ooh, this is kind of like a rush. Ooh, it's like, yeah, where was your sense of urgency at fucking noon? Now you want to fucking like be talking at like 5:10 call. It's like, she wants to be done with work. The supercomputer needs its rest. Like, I'm sorry.
Well,
but like,
see, what happened was I was about to punch out at 5.
Yeah.
And this loan officer sends me what we call a team message, which is an instant message that pops up on your computer. It instantly pops up, like the second they type it and they hit enter, it pops up on whoever's computer that you're sending it to. Well, this loan officer sends me an email. He's like, I really need your help urgently. Can you please help me? I have a file closing. He didn't tell me when. And I'm like, okay, fine. So I call him back.
Where was he at 2:00 though? That's just like thing.
Well, see, that's the thing.
Where was he at noon? Where was he? What?
It's
now
not my
it's
file.
like,
It's not my file. It's not my loan. It's to all the listeners. I work for a mortgage company, and I'm a mortgage loan processor. So,
and I'm I'm an originator, so I find loans.
Right.
And she is the processor, and she processes them like a supercomputer does.
So this loan officer messages me and says, I really need your help. And so I call him back, and I'm like, I look at the closing date in the system. I'm like, this is supposed to close tomorrow? He's like, yeah. And I'm like, holy shit. And he's like, well, I've been trying to get a hold of so-and-so all day, because that's the processor, the other processor, and he's like, she won't answer my questions, and she just shoots off random emails to me that doesn't address my questions, that doesn't help with the loan. He's like, I need help with this. And so that's what I was trying to help him with on his file that's closing tomorrow. He's like, yeah, and of course it's fucking 5:00, and of course the second it hits 5:00, she's gone. The second the clock hits 5:00 in 1 second, 5:00 in 1 second, she's punching out.
She's not a supercomputer. She's like a 1983 like Apple. You know what I mean? Like, that's what she's running on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you're like running on like today's version, like this computer.
Right.
banging Olafson, like
Right.
you're fucking banging it out. Fucking, she's like 5 o'clock. Boop, I'm out of here.
Yes.
He's like, I need help.
Yes.
That's sad. All right, so anyways, had to say that. Have to tell you I love you too, babe. From the bottom of my heart, I love you.
Love you too.
All right, so you're going to go over to the TV. I got something, pause, and then we'll talk about it when you come back.
What?
So just go over to the TV remote, hit play, and turn it up to like 30 or whatever, and then play it, and you'll know when it's done. We'll just sit here and wait for you to do that.
I'll be back.
I'll keep the show going while she's watching what she's gonna watch, and then we'll talk about it. But no, we're big fans of like the Pete and Sebastian show. If you haven't checked that out, it's like the charisma and like the good vibes. Just looking at them, it's like oh, it's like somebody you just want to hang out with. Hold on a second. Used as a person in this agenda. What the fuck are you talking about? That's it. Pause it or, mute it, whatever. So, like, when you watch, what she just watched was Kyrie Erving's interview because the Brooklyn Nets have to open up against the Milwaukee Bucks for their very first game of this season. And, like, to play in an arena, this is like something perfect to talk about on podcasts. To play in an arena, you have to be vaccinated. Well, he's like, well, I don't want to be vaccinated. It's like, dude, I'm sorry, dude. Just shut the fuck up and put this fucking needle in your arm and take the shot. Even if you don't, like, what do you, are you still is he one of these people that's like holding out? Like, oh, I want to wait 10 years, see how it affects people. Oh, okay, 10 years from now. Oh, okay, yeah. Everybody that got the shot, they're okay. All right, I guess I could take it now. Like, how long are you going to wait? Like, what, like, just like, it's modern medicine. Yes, they came up with it fast, but there's reasons why they came up with it fast, because compared to technology has improved over the last 20, 30, 40 years. So, I mean, to sit there and say whatever he said, I'm not going to be used as a scapegoat, to fit their, it's like, what are you talking about?
Stupid.
And like, when you look at him when you just watch him, compared to like the Pete and Sebastian show, what kind of like vibe do you fucking get from like looking at him talk right there in that 20 seconds? Do you get like, man, I want to hang out with you and like, let's have some drinks and chill and like, I want to hear some stories. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like fucking like, it's just negative. Like the whole like aura, I'm like, oh
yeah.
Sorry, Kyrie, just take your fucking shot, dude. I don't agree with it. You're going to sit there and be like, I'm not going to be used, blah, blah, blah. It's like, dude, everybody's taking a shot. Just take the fucking shot. It's like, you're holding out to like be like that guy. It's like stupid, dude. I just don't understand. It's fucking dumb. I mean, what do you think?
Me?
Yeah, about him not, if he doesn't want the shot, fine, don't want the shot. Okay, right? I mean,
he has a right to not want the shot.
Yeah, and then he has a right to not want the shot, just like every regular average Joe has a right to not want the shot, and then they don't get the shot, and that's fine. But for him, that simplicity of do I want the shot or not? Like if it was me or you, I don't want the shot. Okay, so then I just sit at home and whatever, and I golf and da-da-da, and I don't have to have the shot. And my life doesn't change. It's not life-altering. You know what I mean?
Correct.
For him, not that simple thing of wanting the shot or not wanting the shot should stay like that. So I understand where he's coming from in the aspect of it's like, well, if you know, an average person doesn't want the shot, his life goes on. So I'm a basketball player. I don't want the shot, and like, oh, now I can't play in arenas and shit. Like, are you serious? Now it's like affects my job. Well, so now I have to take the shot to be able to fucking work and make my fucking like 38 million this year. So like, I understand he's got like an attitude, but it's like still at the end of the day, just take the fucking shot and be done with it.
Yes. Yes.
Everybody else is doing it around you. Be one of those guys. Like, all right, everybody else fucking did it, so I'll fucking do it too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Be that guy.
Yes.
And that's what he has to. He has to suck it up at this point and just be just like that.
If he wants to fucking play basketball, he's got to get fucking vaccinated. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. If he doesn't want to take the shot, fine, don't take the shot, but don't cry about it. And
then what is he going to wait till next year and be like, oh, that was last year. You're still doing this? You're still like, I got to take the shot? I thought like the disease would like over the next year would run its course and we wouldn't have the same mandates. He's going to be like, we got the same mandates? I can't play unless I get vaccinated? Well, now it's like, he's like, well, last year I lost $30 million because I didn't want to get vaccinated. So now this year, am I going to do the same thing, or am I going to take the shot now because I'm fucking starving for a little bit of cash? You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, you might as well just suck it up right now and just take the fucking shot.
Yes. Yes.
It's like, holy shit. He's like, and he knows that too. What's that?
Get closer to the mic.
He knows that too. You know, he knows that he has to be like, he knows that he has to be the guy now that goes, all right, well, if everybody else did it, the games are gonna go on without me, and then I might as well take the shot so I can make my money and play, but I'm not happy about it.
Yeah.
Like, legit.
The FDA, I read it on the screen, the FDA just approved booster shots for Moderna.
Oh, for Moderna?
Yeah. For 65 and older, booster shots at the initial. So my mom can probably go get her boost now.
Or, yeah, she probably should, honestly.
She should.
Get her boost. As soon as they approve the Johnson & Johnson, which is what we had, and then they say, oh, well, if you got it 8 months ago, here, you can have a boost now. I'm going to be fucking marching in there to get my boost.
Well, they
to
said
ramp up my antibodies, so if I get it, like, it doesn't affect me as bad, you know, and I'm not dying in the hospital.
They just said on the screen, I don't know, but they said on the screen that if you had Johnson & Johnson, it's safe to get Pfizer or Moderna booster.
Yeah, I'll wait.
I'll wait on that one. Sorry.
I'll wait.
I don't like that too much yet.
Like
I'm not anti-vax. I've had the vaccination. I just want to see a little bit more. Yeah, I want to see a little more research on the mixing. I'm not a cocktail. I want to see. I want to see a little more research on that.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we'll just tell them it's fine, and then we'll see what happens.
Yeah. I'm not your guinea pig. I'm sorry.
I know, exactly. So, anyways, I gotta say this. So, I was driving today, and, I don't know. Like, I usually have road rage. I do.
Uh-oh.
But when I'm driving with a half ounce of mushrooms in the car, my driving rage goes away, so to speak, because I'm like, well, okay, and I'm attentive. I got my seatbelt on,
You had your seatbelt on?
Yeah, I don't need to get pulled over for having no seatbelt.
You never wear your seatbelt.
I know.
Not even when we go get pot, you never wear your seatbelt.
I know. Well, but mushrooms are even worse than weed. But anyways, so, I am the guy, and you can ask my wife this. I am the guy that's like, dude, the speed limit's 70 miles an hour on the freeway, and you're in the fast lane, and you're going 70 in the fast lane, and the car next to you in the middle lane's going 70, and you're cock blocking. As soon as I get around you, I'm honking the horn, I'm putting my arm out the window, fuck you, Right, honey?
Yes.
That's me.
Yes.
I'm letting your ass know that you're a fucking tool. You know what I mean? Sorry.
Yeah. So what happened today?
Well, I didn't do anything.
Okay.
It's great. I just get to tell you the story. I didn't do anything.
Well, great, but what happened? I'm dying to know here.
I bet you are. So I'm driving, and I'm in the fast lane. Now, I don't know about you, but on a 3-lane freeway, okay, so you got 3 lanes on the freeway, and it's 70 miles an hour. To me, it's like an unspoken rule that the right lane, the slow lane, is going 70. You can at least do that. And then the middle lane is 5 over, so 75. And then the fast lane is you got to be doing at least 10 over to be in the fast lane, or else get the fuck out of the fast lane. You agree with that?
Yeah.
It's the 3 lanes. Speed limit, and then 5, 6 over, and then 10, 11 over, right? Okay. You have no reason to go around somebody and then flip them off. This is what happened. Okay. So I'm driving. I don't even know. I'm just focused ahead of me. There's not a lot of traffic. So it was 11 o'clock, 10:30, 11. And all of a sudden, this guy just I'd never seen him. I'm just he goes around, I was in the fast lanes, and he must have went around the fast lane and the middle lane and went all the way around. And then he swerved over, and he put his hand out and fuck you. And I'm looking at how fast I'm going, and I'm in the city where I was driving, my example was 70 miles an hour. So 70, 75, 80,
right.
But in the city where I was driving, the speed limit was 55. And I'm in the fast lane. Now, if you're going 65 in a fast lane, that's good. No, I wasn't.
Over.
I was going 72.
Wow. So you're
I was going 17 over,
yeah.
And he drove around me and was like, "What the fuck you doing?"
Holy shit.
Flip me off, and had road rage. And the guy next to me is going 70, and I'm going 72, and he wants to go fucking 100. So he's everybody that ain't going 100, get the fuck out of my way.
Wow.
And I'm gonna flip you off.
Tell me you didn't do anything.
I didn't do anything. He was gone. But then, the funniest part about the whole thing is, then I'm watching. I'm watching him. He's in a pickup truck. A great pickup truck. So I'm driving. I
gotta ask this question: white or black?
It was
Hispanic or Asian or whatever.
Oh, I didn't know a person.
Well, they stuck an arm out. You should have seen the color of it.
I don't. It was he was going 100 miles an hour. Then he was so far ahead of me when he did it.
Okay.
I couldn't even tell. But I'm watching the truck, and I'm and it's I got 5 miles for the exit, and I'm looking, and it's I'm dude, you passed me 4 miles ago. And he's stuck behind other traffic, like right up there. Like he can't get through. Like, it's like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, dude, just 72.
Yeah,
I was
55.
I was going between 70 and 72. And when he did that, I looked down at my speed and I'm like, I'm going 72 miles an hour. And this guy just drove past me, probably going like 85, 90. Flicks me off. You know, it was further down though. It's hard to explain, but
Yeah, I can.
because there wasn't like a lot of
picture it.
people on the road, so he was able to like go around us. And I'm just like, dude, how are you mad at somebody that's going 15 over in the fast lane? Like, you know what I mean? If I'm in the fast lane, I'm only going 5 over, then you want to like go around me, fucking what the fuck you doing, asshole, you know? But I'm going 15, 17 over, plus, you know, I got mushrooms on me, so I shouldn't even have been speeding. I should have been in the slow lane. But about 5 minutes before that happened, I see a car go past me. I was only going like 5 or 10 over. Go past me, and I just like happen to look at the plate. Like, I'm observant of things, you know. Like, I do pay attention. Did you have this yet?
No.
You should a couple times. Hit it.
I'll get it.
But I'm observant of things. But now, like, since we're doing the podcast, I'm like, oh, I'm going to be like, you know, a little bit more observant. So the car goes past me, and it's like a little 4-door, geeky looking, or it was like a hatchback, something. It was just like a dorky little car, right? You know what I'm saying? Boom. And the license plate says DANKE,
Danky
and then
or
space
dank?
DANKE, and then a space, and then a B. Why would you be wanting to tell every single police officer that gets behind you, dank buds, dank B? What's dank B? I mean, the cops are dumb. Dank B. I'm like, dank B. I'm like, I gotta speed up. I'm like, I gotta speed. Hit that thing and give it to me.
Yeah, I did already, but I'll do it again.
I'm like, dude, I gotta speed up and see who's driving this car, dude. Dank B on the license plate. I'm not making this shit up. Like, dank buds, dank, like is DANK. And they went DANK when then added the E. It's dank buds, dank B. I drive up and I look over. I'm like, I gotta like do a hard look to see, like, you know, what do you want to adjust the?
I was trying to put it like this, but it keeps falling.
Well, I can do it.
No, it's fine.
You gotta tighten it.
Oh, is that how you do it? I wasn't sure. But keep talking, yeah.
But it's a fucking girl. She's like nerdy as hell looking. She's, no offense. And she's like 30, between 28 and 32. And she's driving, and I'm just thinking, you don't even look like a pot smoker, like, at all. Like, you would never guess it, you know, besides the license plate. Then now it's like, you know, it's like, you know, it would be like your mom trying to change your license plates to dank B.
Yeah, right.
And then she drives around, and then the cops like, what? And then they pull around the side of her and look at your mom and go, this chick don't smoke. The joke's on me. Like, you know what I mean?
Yep.
I was like, why is your license plate? Would you ever do that thing?
Hell no.
It's like
advertising to the cop. Pull me over. Pull me over.
And she doesn't probably smoke weed. So then that's why she's fucking with them.
Well, maybe.
Like, you know, if you don't smoke weed and you're straight arrow, and then you make your license plate called cocaine. Your license plate is cocaine. It's like,
I suppose.
SNF. Let's say your license plate is SNF for sniff, SNF, and then CK1. You know, it's like the cops like behind you going, sniff coke, one? Yeah. I'm gonna pull you over, and then like he runs you, and it's like you've never been arrested a day in your life, and you're like 38, you know. It's like, why'd you pull me over? Because of my license plate?
Yeah.
You want to see what was going on?
Mm-hmm.
Joke's on you. Because, like, honestly, this chick did not look like she smoked at all, I swear to God.
Okay,
it's like, is she driving, like, the boyfriend's car? Like, is he, like...
Possibly.
I thought, honestly, when I pulled up next and I looked over, I thought I was going to see, like, a dude that looked like he smoked weed dreadlocks or something. A lot of people smoke pot, right?
Yes.
Okay. And people look all different. You know what I mean? They look straight arrow. They look fucking like totally like ganja, like Bob Marley-ish with dreadlocks, you know? If you're going to have your license plate be Dank B, you would think when you're pulling up next to the person and going to look over, you're going to see some dude that's like, you're like,
oh, yeah.
Oh my God, this
Snoop
guy
Dogg
for
type
sure
shit.
Fucking smokes weed. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Snoop Dogg
type shit. And it was
type
the
shit.
exact opposite of that. It like totally threw me off.
So I just want to say, the reason why I asked before to the listeners, not necessarily to you, because I know you know this, but to the listeners don't. The reason why I asked what color this person was that flipped you off in the previous story, white, black, Hispanic, or Asian, is because I know where he was driving. And on this freeway, it's a predominantly African American neighborhood where he was driving. And so that is why I asked the question. And plus, there's numerous shootings on this freeway almost every day.
Yeah.
So that's why I just had to ask the question.
Now you made it sound like we live in a shithole.
No, this place...
We live in a nice place, but I went to a golf course to meet the guy because he wanted to go golfing. Like, that's how I met him, golfing. And then he pulled out a bag of mushrooms and asked me if I want to buy them, and I was like, sure. Like, tell us more about that story. Go on.
But I just wanted to clear the air of what, like, I didn't want people thinking, well, what doesn't matter what color he was. It doesn't matter. But I just was curious because I knew the neighborhood he was in. And
well, he was either white or Mexican or something. He was driving like a gray pickup truck. I wasn't even mad. Like usually I see, like, if I'm behind the slow person and I'm like, all right, I ain't got nothing on me, which is, you know, most of the time, all the time, except for when I'm just going to pick up something. Like if I'm going to pick up weed or pick up,
I have a bright idea.
Then that's it. But or else I'm like, oh, come on, move. Let's go. And then like today I was just like, nope, I'm just going to drive nice and safe and be like in my little bubble. And then like the dude goes around, like he flipped me off. I was like, bye. I like didn't even.
So this guy has a very high road rage temper. He doesn't like you.
Oh, yeah.
You.
Like this guy, I'm like, what? Which guy?
This guy. The guy I'm on the podcast with. This man.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I admit that.
You have 100%. A very high road rage temper. And you like, I don't think I ever go anywhere with you where you don't complain about something somewhere somehow that somebody did.
Yeah, driving, because people suck at driving. It's not me just trying to nitpick. It's just like when you're driving out there on the road and there's like, you got to deal with all these people. That's like seriously, like you got to have my back on it. Because it's like you with work. You have to deal with all these people that don't know shit and fucking da-da-da need your help and blah, 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 blah. And it's like kind of like, oh my God, you know? And fucking like that's the same thing as driving. You're out there with like hundreds of people. Like, and the longer you drive, now it's 300 I've ran across, 400, 500. And you're going to see like, I see like the idiotness, you know, and the people driving. So it drives me fucking nuts.
So I think we just found a solution to your problem. Always drive with drugs, and you will never have road rage.
Yeah, because I have
always take your pot or your mushrooms with you, and you'll be good.
Yeah, just drive with the cop goes, why do you have an eighth of pot and an eighth of mushrooms in your, sitting right there?
That's to control my rage.
That's to control the rage.
Yeah.
So I don't snap, flip somebody off,
Yeah.
honk my horn a whole bunch of times.
Yep.
It's like, well, I can't do any of that. I don't want to draw attention to myself because I have all these drugs. So now I'm going to drive really nice.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, we're not doing that. That's not the way
I do want you to try, even without the drugs, to try to refrain on the road rage.
I will try.
Because
I've been doing better, honestly, in the last,
You've been better, but you still complain.
Well, I'm gonna complain, dude. I mean, you can't take away the complaint department when I'm driving.
Well,
that's like trying to silence Sebastian Maniscalco.
I'm just saying,
you can't
I don't
do
want
a podcast anymore.
The way this world is today, you don't know who's carrying a gun. You don't that person that
keep it inside the car. Keep the rage inside the car.
Well,
right,
the person that flipped
flick the people off and honk the horn and fucking and give them a look. Just be mad inside the car and just dwell upon. So you're gonna still hear it.
Well,
you're gonna have to sit there and hear me nagging and bitching about it. But as long as I don't honk the horn and flick them off, then I keep the rage within the vehicle, which is then that's good. That's progress, isn't it?
It is progress, but I just don't want you getting into an altercation
with the wrong.
I just don't want you getting in an altercation with the wrong individual.
No, I'll keep it within the car from now on, so that doesn't happen.
You should tell them about the road rage incident that you had that happened a couple years ago.
Oh, a guy got upset that I was going it was 35 miles an hour. I was going 30.
You accidentally cut the guy off, and it was on accident.
Yeah, and it was on accident. Usually I drive quick. I'm sharp. All right, I'm turning on a road. I know it's 35. I hit the gas up to 45, 10 over. And I'm on top of things. And I'm quick moving. You know what I'm saying? When I'm driving. And in this day, I just was having a Sunday. Even you commented you're driving really nice today. It's yeah, I'm just kind of driving an old lady would. She knows there's no traffic and I'll just lollygag around. And he got irritated and he fucking flipped me off. So then I got irritated. So I drove up to the light. And I'm flicking him off, and I'm fuck you, motherfucker, da-da-da. And then he pulls out a gun, and he points a 9mm right at my fucking head.
Yep.
And I'm oh, and I'm looking, true story. And I'm looking right at, him. And I'm looking at the barrel of the gun. I'm are you really going to pull the trigger and fucking shoot me over nothing, you dumb fucking retard? The guy was 55 years old. White dude. So then I was looking, I'm I'm looking down and this and that, trying to grab my cell phone so I could take a picture of him and shit. And, he ran the red light. We were at a red light, and then he just ran it. So then I'm I'm running it. I'm chasing after your ass. So fucking, we had to, I think it's on YouTube. On I put it up on some channel. And I'm chasing this guy for 5 minutes until he got on the freeway. He was going 65 to 80 through the subdivisions, fucking trying to get away from me. And I'm flooring it in my car. It's dude, it's another thing that irritated me with that whole like chase. It was like he had like a 4-door brown tan. It wasn't like anything special at all. It was just like your regular basic car. And then we had a Honda Accord Sport, and I'm like got the Sport going. I'm like doing the shifters, and this guy's like gaining on me, and I'm like, what the fuck kind of shitty, like, you know, it was like a Chevy or something. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
his car was nothing special, right? It was just a normal, everyday, run-of-the-mill, just regular car.
Right.
But he was gaining on our car, which is like sport and this and that. And it's like, I don't know, those jams are fucking like picking up. Well, now they got turbos, the little 1.5 turbo. You know what a 1.5 turbo does? Diddly squat. And then why does it say 1.5 on my fucking dash? It goes from 0 to 0.5 to 1.0 and then 1.5. And every time I floor the fucking car and I'm getting all the way up into like 5.5 up to 6,000 RPMs, and I'm watching to see if it'll ever go past 1, it never goes all the way up to 1.5 and like hits the like turbo to get the 1.5. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the turbo stops at 1.
Yeah.
Have you ever noticed that in the car? Have you ever like floored it and like looked and like really tried to like floor it and give it all?
I have
and, like,
floored
watch,
it, but I never watched it. No.
Oh, dude, you have to. Next time we're in the car and we'll go on the freeway, I'll be like, all right, now watch it. And then, you know, put it in like sport mode. So it's like first gear, third gear, whatever. And like go, and it'll shift automatically. So you don't even have to worry about doing it. But just watch the, like, you know, just take off like right here when you just like take a left and like you go up to the stop sign right here, you know?
Yeah.
And then you're going straight down the road. I'm careful to not say like the road we live on. Say the actual street name. When you're at the stop sign, just floor it. And when the turbo is like designed for like pickup, for max pickup, the turbo isn't supposed to work when you're like going 70 and 80 and 90. It's like it turns off. It's like ain't doing anything. So it's like all about like, you know, right away, you know, pickup speed.
Yeah.
And fucking you watch and it never goes up above 1.0. It never goes up to 1.25 or 1.5. Like, you can see the dials there, like it could go there, but it never does. It's like, why do you say it's a 1.5 turbo when it never goes over 1.0? It's a 1.0 turbo.
Right.
But anyways, how much time do we have on this? 38 minutes? Huh, that's cool. So you had a story.
I have a couple stories.
The other day you were just gonna say a story, but then you were like, "Oh, I'll talk about it another time."
Yeah, that was a work story. So, as I mentioned before, I'm a mortgage loan processor, and I had this customer, a lady. Younger lady, I don't recall her exact age, but in her 20s, let's just say that. She is trying to buy a house, and she got a gift for money to come to close with of $8,000, and she had that money deposited into her bank account, and this lady needed roughly $10,000 coming to close with. And well, she got her $8,000 gift, but she still was short funds to close. She didn't meet the $10,000 requirement. She was at like $9,200 or whatever it was. So she was short like $800. So we tell this lady she needs to go get more money from someone to gift her more money.
Did she try to like come and go, is this negotiable?
No, it's not negotiable.
Is that what she thought though?
No.
Like, okay, so she like came and said, "Hey, I don't have enough."
She didn't realize she didn't have that much. She did not realize she needed that much money.
So she doesn't realize. Then whose fault is that to not tell her?
The loan officers. But,
okay, well there you go.
But
their computers aren't fast.
But see, it's hard. It is difficult to come to for any loan officer. It's difficult for any loan officer to calculate cash that's needed for closing to an exact dollar or cent until you have the seller side numbers.
Yeah, I'm listening. I'm listening to what I'm playing.
It's like not even paying attention at all.
Because I can hear you with the headphones, so I don't have to like look right at you.
Uh-huh.
But, yeah.
So anyway, it's difficult for a loan officer to calculate the exact numbers because you don't know what the seller's figures are for tax credits or sewer credits or water credits or whatever credits. It's hard to
say this is the exact amount.
Yeah.
So it's like, roughly you roughly need about 8,500, 9,000. So make sure you have 10 grand in your bank.
Yeah, it's an ish number.
It's an ish number, and then he has to tell him, hey, have an extra 1,000 on top of that.
Exactly. Yeah.
So, like, in case
we don't ever know the exact amount needed until like a day or two before closing. The exact amount, because it all depends on seller side numbers as well.
They're rushing around trying to like find money.
Okay, so
move money around if they're like that type of person.
Correct.
Most people aren't.
But
where they got like a portfolio.
You would think like if you were buying a house, you would have sufficient money to come to close with, verified, right? You would think you would have that money in your bank account. You would think that's a like, hey, I'm buying a house. Like,
you're buying a house, I know.
That's a big purchase. That's a big investment.
It's not like you went to Walmart
and decided
and like went, oh, well, I don't have enough money. I want to buy this, or or I spent too much. My card's $240. Oops. It's like, no, it's not. You're buying a house.
Yeah.
And you go through like looking at all the different houses, like at the beginning, and like figuring out which one you want, and then it's like a big ordeal.
Yes.
And then at the very end, after you do all that shit, and then at the very end go, oh, I'm $800 short. Well, I guess I'll just say forget it, and I won't buy this house.
You can't do that, though. You are under contract to buy that house. You are under contract to buy that house. So anyway.
Oh, God.
So this lady.
But I mean, if you were like, well, let's say you wanted it to be like that. Like, what are they going to do? Okay, you're under contract, but what are they going to do?
Well, if you truthfully have no way of getting the funds.
Yeah.
Then you're out. You're out of the contract. You can't buy that house, obviously.
Okay.
And the seller has the right to hold your earnest money. Whatever you put down, $1,500, $2,000, $5,000, whatever it is, $10,000, it doesn't matter. The seller has the right to hold your earnest money because
that's why you want to follow through with it.
Yes. That's the point of the earnest money is like your commitment. I'm going to buy this house, and I'm going to do everything in my power to buy this house.
So what happened? So did she get her $800?
So, this story is a fun story. So this lady, we tell this lady she's a couple hundred short-ish to come to close with. So she goes and gets another $3,000 gift from her father. Fine. So you would think she had about 92 plus 3,000. Let's do the math, people. How much money should she have?
92 plus 3,000 be 92, 1,002, 11,2, 12,2.
That's how much money she should now have.
12,200.
That's how much money she should have in her bank account now.
Right. And what, she have like
So
50,000 like
So she sends us a banking transaction history showing this $3,000 from her dad deposited into her account. But hold on, people. There's a kicker. We look at her transaction history, and there is numerous withdrawals from American Girl that total $1,800. Now, if anybody doesn't know what American Girl is a doll company. Dolls. They're very expensive dolls. So this chick got $3,000 gifted from her father, but decided to do a little shopping over the weekend and spend $1,800 of the $3,000 on fucking dolls.
I'm sorry, that is hilarious. Like, Dad, I'm like 800 short. Do you think that was the conversation? And then he would have been like, all right, I'll give you 1,000, right? That wasn't the conversation. The conversation had to have been, let's see, I want to buy $1,200 worth of dolls. I'm 800 short. That'll be 2,000. I'll tell him I'm like 2,800 short, so he'll give me $3,000. And that's what she told her dad, like, you know, like that conversation. Like, Dad, I'm like 2,800 short on this house. Can you help me? And he's like, fine, I'll gift you $3,000. And then fucking she goes out and spends all the money on dolls. And then what happens? She spent too much money again.
Yes.
So she didn't have enough again.
Exactly.
And then she needed more money. So she
Exactly. Exactly. And so she spent like $1,800 on dolls. And plus, you know, she also spent other money, like at other places, like, I don't know, McDonald's,
what is
you know.
she doing with the dolls?
Exactly. But, like, I'm so happy you bought your dolls, sweetheart. You can live with your dolls in your fucking car now. You're going to be homeless.
Why did she wait to buy the dolls? She should have bought the house, worried about that first, and then you can fill it up with dolls.
Yes.
Like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, honestly.
Yeah. And the loan officer said maybe she doesn't, maybe it was fraud.
She's got mental problems.
Well, he said maybe it's fraud.
It's either fraud or mental problems.
And he asked,
probably both.
And he asked the assistant,
Sorry.
He asked his assistant to send her an email to confirm that these are really her purchases. And I said, I'm pretty sure that these are her purchases. She probably wouldn't.
Did you look up like what kind of dolls these are? Are they just
Google
like little?
them. Google them. They're dolls. They're dolls. They're dolls, but they're very expensive dolls. Very expensive dolls.
So what? This chick's how old?
In her 20s. I don't remember.
So
how
she's
old.
in her 20s buying dolls. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Expensive ones, and like what puts them up in her room? It's just weird. Like that whole
I don't know,
thing.
yeah.
That whole thing is just weird.
You see those like ghost adventure or ghost hunter stories on TV where the creepy old room has a whole bunch of dolls in it? That's this.
Well, yeah, because they don't like go anywhere. So when you buy them, you just like, it's not like, you know, food where you got to buy more food. She just keeps spending all this money on dolls and just getting a bigger collection. Where is she living? With her parents?
Yeah.
And then filling up the house with dolls. She's trying to buy her own house. And then did she get the house or no?
Not yet. She has to go get more money.
Oh my God.
She does not have, she spent $1,800 on dolls, and she spent, you know, other money like to like live, you know, like food and what have you. Gas.
Does she not have a job?
She does have a job, but she just got paid last week, Friday. So all of her money is accounted for.
See, now listen.
And now she's not going to get paid for another 2 weeks because she gets paid bi-weekly.
To the people that like are like still actually listening, they're like, wow. it's like you know everything about this person. Like, I know when you get paid, motherfucker. I know how much money you got in your account. I know when you take money out, what you spent it on. Like,
yeah, well, they don't know names. Like, they don't know location. There's so many people in this world, they can't pinpoint that down. Sorry.
No, I know. I'm just saying it's like, you know, you know so much about like the people, and it's like just buy the fucking house, you dummy.
Yeah.
Just like Kyrie Erving, just take the shot, you dumb.
Like, I'm sorry, but you're buying a house. What possesses you? Like, I'm gonna go this weekend and buy $1,800 worth of dolls.
Yeah. See, for people that are older, sorry.
Listen to podcast number one.
Podcast one, there was 3 burps. Sorry. That'll be like my thing. On every podcast, I do a burp.
You had a couple silent, or like, not silent, I shouldn't say that. More quieter ones this podcast. I don't know. We have to listen to it back to see if we can actually hear them.
Oh, we probably will listen to it back. But, no, it's like, yeah, just buy the house. It's like, you know, for people that are like, you know, if they're younger, like 16 or 20 or 22, they're not going to get it.
They don't.
But when you're older and like, you know, like you're buying a house, that is the biggest purchase
of your life.
It's not like going to Walmart. It's not like going to Best Buy and picking on a TV and you're like, oh, okay, I'll spend $2,000 on a TV. Like, you know, and you figure it out in like an hour. Like, this is like a big process.
Yeah.
Buying a home is a big process. And then at the very end, like, not have the money. Then to go get more money because you don't have enough. Like, at the beginning, you didn't have enough. Like, okay, square one. Oh, I'm going through this entire process of giving you all my personal information, all of, like, you know, my taxes and everything and all this stuff. And then it's like, oh, I need money at the end?
Like, that's my point. That's my struggle every day.
You know, it's like, are you that dumb? Like, when do you not need money? Like, you always need money, motherfucker. You're buying a house. Like, You can't just, like, walk up and go, I got $0. Let's say they give them $5,000 down. And then that's it? No, there's, like, closing costs and all
taxes
this and that.
And, yeah.
Taxes and da-da-da-da. So then you don't have that at the beginning. So then you go out and get money. And then you spent a little bit or whatever, and then you're short again, so you go out and get more. It's like, how many times is this chick just going to go out and get, like, loans from her family?
Right. See,
so she can buy a house and fill it with dolls.
Exactly.
Because that's what she's going to do.
I'm sure one of her bedrooms in this house she's trying to buy is going to have a doll bedroom.
It's going to be, like, just filled.
Yeah.
Like all 4 corners. Or all 3 corners.
Yeah.
The one where there's a window, she'll have to do like a half. She'll only be able to put like 1 or 2, you know, like shelves.
Yeah.
But all the other walls, it'll be like, you know, 10 feet all the way to the ceiling, like dolls.
Yeah.
And she'll walk in there and go, God, I feel good. It's like, dude, you got problems.
Yeah.
Like, seriously.
Yes. That's my struggle every day with the job I have, is people thinking they can buy houses with little to no money. Listen, people, if you are going to buy a house, guess what? You need money. Shit ain't free. And if you want to go on a spending spree while you're in the process of buying a house,
make sure you got what you think and then a little extra.
Yes.
And then be like, all right, well, it's just dumb. Just hold off.
Yes. Could you wait a week?
Could you wait a week or 2 weeks?
Until you close?
Just wait.
Yeah.
Just wait.
I'm sure these dolls could have waited until she closed.
I had a guy that fucking, oh, I'm going to buy a boat. It's like, dude, you're closing on your house on Thursday.
Yep.
And your debt to income ratio and everything is like right on the cusp. Like one more, like you going and spending $5 at fucking like you go to Walmart and you buy a soda out of the vending machine. It's gonna tip you over, and you ain't gonna be able to buy your home.
You're right.
And you go out and you buy a fucking $22,000 boat, and you're like, "What? I can't still buy my house. Who cares if I bought a boat 3 days ago?"
Right.
It's like, dude, we told you, no big purchases. Keep your money in the bank. No big purchases. Just like,
Yeah.
it's like, and then people can't follow like simple directions.
Make big purchases after you close.
Yeah.
You have to wait.
Yes, you have to wait. You have to wait, people.
I'm going to be bitching a lot on this podcast about my job and how dumb people are.
Well, we should end this one now, I think, at 55.
That's okay, because I need a pee break.
A pee break, and then a little 5-minute break, and then we're going to do episode 3 right after this. We're just going to keep it rolling for one more episode. So, since we're sitting here, right? I mean, shouldn't you?
That's fine.
Yeah, it's like, all right. People, I want you to take care of yourselves and love one another, and the people that you hold dear to your heart, make sure you let them know every day that, you love them and you care about them.
That's nice.
It's important. All right?
Be kind, everybody.
Be kind, everybody. Try to be. But you got to look at the funny side of things. I want to fill my house up with dolls. Dude, she does. She's filling up her she's living with her parents in the one bedroom. And like, she's got her own little bedroom. Like, mom and dad got a bedroom. And then there's like a spare bedroom or an office. And then there's like, she's got her room and she's filling it with dolls. She's like, I got to get my own house. Like, I'm bursting at the seams here. I need more storage.
Storage for her dolls.
Storage for all this shit. Oh, God. The doll lady. Oh, dude. It's so funny to me. I'm sorry. You got to go out and you got to spend $1,800. You just got, can I get $3,000? You gave me $3,000. What? I mean, honestly, you have to have, like, I think, some sort of mental problem. I'm being honest. You have to have a mental problem to go, okay, I don't have enough to buy the home. I'm going to go ask for money. All right, now I should keep that and put it in the bank and just, like, have enough to buy the home. But no, I want to go out and spend $1,200, $1,500 on dolls, and then what? I don't have enough anymore. Like, are you serious?
Yes.
It's just like too much, dude. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It's too much for me.
I didn't even finish the story. Oh my God, because I got sidetracked.
We were already saying goodbye, but go ahead.
I gotta finish this story. I'm sorry. I can't.
Well, this is gonna probably be over an hour. That's fine. Go ahead.
No. This next part won't take this long. The same lady. We also have to do what we call undisclosed debt notifications. So it's a debt monitoring service from the date we pull credit to the time of closing, that if you take out any new loans without telling us, we know about it. So that's what it's for. We turn off the undisclosed debt monitoring when your loan closes. Guess what? We got an undisclosed debt notification on this lady.
Well, of course. She wants to go pull out more money.
She didn't pull out no more money. She got a lease. She bought a new car for $600 a month. So now we have to also include that bad boy in her debt to income ratio. Granted, is she fine? Does she still qualify? Yes, she still qualifies.
Why can't you just wait to get the lease?
Exactly. Why couldn't you wait a week? 1 week. That's all you needed to do was wait for a week.
You know why?
And buy your dolls
Jenny,
and buy your car.
I told you. she's got mental problems.
And not to mention
the dolls. Let's go back to the dolls.
Not to mention all customers sign a form at the initial application process. All customers sign a form that you will not take out new debt during the process. And people don't listen, which is why we have the undisclosed debt monitoring service. And she takes out a freaking car loan. Thank God she still qualifies income-wise, but it's still something else. Why couldn't you wait 1 week to buy your car and buy your dolls?
Yeah. Well, a lot of people can't wait. They do dumb stuff.
And
when
guess
they're
what?
Buying the house, it's like the whole process takes. I think it's too long for people. Like what is the biggest buying decision that you have to make other than buying a house? What is the
car?
What is a car? And then after that, it's like what, TV and shit.
Well, some people it's boats, or second
boats,
homes.
Yeah,
or
but I mean, a home is like so much different than buying a car. A car, you can go to the dealership, go, yep, I like this car. They pull your credit, do. Oh, you got $2,000 in your bank. You want to give us down? Okay, that's fine. Boom, boom, boom. And you're out of there in like 6 hours with a car. A house takes like 2 or 3 months, so you gotta
a house takes. Well,
sometimes it can take longer than that.
Sometimes it depends. Yeah, if you're building a house or whatever. But we close house loans in 2 to 3 weeks, depending upon everything going smoothly and you're not buying cars and dolls in the process. but
boats
or whatever. Yeah,
jet skis, a motorcycle.
If you are buying a house, people, disclaimer: make life easier on yourself. And don't make any big purchases during the process.
I think because some people are like scandalous about it. Like I think some people. Okay, let's go through all the different types of people. When people are making those mistakes, okay, some people it's like they're dumb. They're like, oh, oops, I forgot. And didn't even think about it. And then other people, I think, are like, all right, so like the bank's gonna give me fucking $500,000 based on like just, I got a couple grand in the bank right now, fucking chilling. That's it. I have a job and they're going to like give me that much money to buy this house. And then it's going to be in my name, the bank's name, whatever. And then it's like, well, dude, I think some people are like try to be slick on the side and like, before I get that money that's like a big debt on their name right before the house closes, if I can go buy a motorcycle or a boat or you know what I mean, and like try to like be slick about it and like buy that shit. And they do, let's say they get a loan because they're like, they go to get a motorcycle or a boat and they look at your debt and go, oh, well, your debt is nothing. Because they haven't bought the house yet. They haven't closed yet.
Right.
So they look at their debt, and their debt is nothing. Mm-hmm. And they're like, oh, and you make the X amount of dollars. You're going to give us $1,000 down. Okay, we'll sell you the motorcycle, and your payment's $600 a month. And then fucking, that screws up them buying the house.
Yes.
It's
yes.
Yeah. Because now the bank's going, well, based on what you make, and based on what the payment's going to be, this is what you have. And now some of that's going to have to go to your boat.
Yeah.
And then you're not going to have enough to pay us. I don't know about giving you the loan anymore. Right. Hence the debt to income ratio. Now you just made your debt. You have more debt now because you bought a motorcycle or a boat.
Yep.
And then people, I think, are trying to like, well, they won't even notice. It's like me with my DUI.
Yeah.
Like, when I had 2 DUIs. Or I had 3 actually. 1, whatever. Then the second, the third one, they happened a month apart. And when I went to court, like the first time for the one, I'm like, can you push it off like 30 days? And they're like, sure. So then I wound up going to court. Another burp. See? I went to court and like on a Tuesday for the second, and then the third one, I went to court, and it's a bigger penalty. Like in the state where we live in, a second to a third is like 6 months in jail. So I was like sweating it, but like not really. I like had this kind of like calm about me actually, that like I was like, well, okay, you know, I'm going in there Tuesday for the second one, and then the third one I'm going to go in there on Thursday. They won't even know that I just pled guilty on the second one. It won't even like hit their system yet. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, you know, and I was right. So I went in there on Tuesday and like, okay, your second DUI, pay a fine. And then when I went in for which I knew was my third, they're like, all right, this is your second DUI. It was still this.
It's
like,
my second DUI.
Like when I went into court on Tuesday, like, you're here. This is your second DUI. I'm like, yes, When I went to court on Thursday, 2 days later, that was now my third. But they didn't know that I just got convicted 2 days ago of my second. So they were like saying, hi, Mr. So-and-so, this is your second DUI. And I was like, yes, it is. It is my second. Uh-huh. Got the same penalty. And then, like, now I've been told, like, well, they still count. So the next one I have, I have three DUIs.
But 2 of them are your second.
Right. I got punishment for 2 of them. My second, third one, both got punishment like my second. But if you add them up, I have 3, so my next one will be my 4th OWI. I can't sit there and go, no. It should be my 3rd.
Yeah, right.
I got punishment on the other 2. The second was punishment for the second, and then the third one I got punishment for the second. Like second punishment.
Yeah.
It ain't gonna work like that.
Yeah.
I don't know how I got off on that rant. But
yeah. It's potty time.
What are we at? 1 hour and 6 minutes? Jeez.
Almost 107.
All right, people. We'll be back with episode 3 in a little bit here.
Toodles.
Oh, I gotta get up. Oh my God, I gotta get up and it hurts. Why is it red?
I don't know.
What?
Why are you not stopping?